So I downloaded this free pattern, that one, and measured it out in inches, so 8 inches down, 4 3/4 to 2.5, 6.5, and that's roughly some sort of angle, but it's fine. If not, you can use a normal ruler. I mean, that's a sewing ruler, but if you have a normal one, that is fine. Oh, this pattern is free if you did want to download it. I'll find a link for it later. So I'm using this dinosaur fabric that I have that's left over from a dress I attempted to make. Apologies for the hold music, I'm waiting for a very long time. What I'm doing is I'm folding it over, then placing this up and pinning it along the top. It's kind of hard because I'm filming over with the iPad, so just pin it up along the side and then cut around the outside. Then do this for your main fabric, your lining fabric, and your interface. If you want interface, you don't have to have it, but it's kind of nice. So interfacing optional.
It's really awkward trying to cut when you're using one hand, so I'm going very loosely around the pen.
And my lining fabric. A bit nicer than the main fabric. I mean, another way around it is you can just cut out the square and then cut off the little bits and then keep the scraps, and then you can make like a teddy bear or something and use the scraps to stuff the teddy bear, or make quilts, or whatever you can sort of think of that would use bunting, the world's tiniest bunting in the case of this teeny tiny triangle, or teeny flags for your castles and pillow forts, and whatever you sort of fancy. Aha! Dun, 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 dun. So I'm going to show you this dinosaur. When you take that off, you have that, and then ta-da! You have your piece of lining fabric. So I'm going to go cut out another piece, and then my interweb. So now I've cut out all my pieces. I have my interfacing, my lining, the hearts on the outside. I've got my iron, and I use the towel on the floor because I don't have an ironing board anywhere, or can probably fit one in here. So what I do now is I iron the pieces flat, and then you put the interfusing, so this one, you put it on the back of your main fabric, just to sort of sudden off. So there's like a nice rough side, and then there's like a kind of sticky side. So it goes, the sticky side goes onto the back. I'll show you. I'll grab one of my main bits. So I'm going to iron this flat first. So, iron's only good for sewing things, by the way, and it's kind of hard to do it with one hand. And then get a bit at the back. So now, with this one, so on this side you can see that one's kind of smooth, and this side's kind of shiny, which shows the glues on this side. So one way you could do it is by putting this down. So you put that on the top, and then you can get some greaseproof paper or another wee towel or something just to pop over the top to try and not get glue on your iron, should it be the wrong way around. But hopefully it won't be the wrong way around, and you got it the right way in. So it doesn't matter if they don't completely match up, because later on you'll just sew along and chop off the extra sort of ½ inch anyway. So put this down, then hold your iron on for about 5 seconds, and then just keep doing that all the way across. So count to 5, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that way I should then have some nicely stuck down interfacing. So I'm going to do this on the other bits. See you later. So now you've got all your nice bits ironed, grab your outside fabric and your inside fabric, your zip and some pins. And what we do is we place your outside fabric at the bottom facing up. Then we get your zip, make sure it's all working. Then what we do is we put that, we open it up a bit. There. Place it then facing, so the zip, actual zip part faces the fabric. Put it along the edge. Then what you do is you grab your inside fabric and then place it front side down on top of that zip, on top of everything. And then what you do is you pin it together all the way along the top and then sew it down. So I pinned across the top. I'll just show you so it makes sense. So when I fold it out, once it's pinned up, what will happen is, once it's sewn up together, you've got the inner and outer on the zip line, and then you've hidden the top of the zip on the inside. So then it's all in together like that. And then you can pop your zip up and you've got your inner and outer done at the same time. Then you do the same on the other side of the zip. So inner facing here, so outside here, inner side facing in, and then pin that down, and then you can sew both sides of the zip up together. So that's this side all sewed on nicely. Now do the same on the other side of the zip. So I've pinned up the other side to the zip. So what it will look like is the side you've sewn on, then you need your inside fabric facing the inside fabric on the other side, on this side of the zip, and then your outside fabric facing your outside fabric on the outside of the zip. So all in all, when it's all opened up, it will look like this. You've got both your insides facing in and your outsides facing out with a nice zip in the middle. So now we've got our zip sewn in, what we need to do is go and flatten it out and iron it down so the seams along the zip are nice and all the fabrics sort of in the same place. Also, iron on the inside as well, just so the inside fabric is also all nice and happy. As you can see, I now have two little red lines running down the top by the zip. That's kind of nice. So now you've got all your bits of fabric sewn onto your zip, what you now do is you head over and open it out, so then you've got the outside facing the outside. So you've got your outside, so front of your outside layer facing the front of your outside layer, and then the front of your inside layer facing the front of the inside layer. And what we do is we pin all the way around the outside, but not the squares, on the edges, and then we leave a big gap along the edge of the inside fabric. So now it's all pinned up around the outside, so pinned up, all the pins all the way around the outside. And then I've put these pins here, and I've put them straight, so that means I know to stop there. Like, say they're facing up rather than across, it means I don't take them out, they stop there. So you go around to here, do not sew these bits, go up here, angle it across to there, do not sew there, sew across there, do not sew this bit, but then sew all the way along to there. And also now, like me, it's probably a good idea to trim off these excess bits of edges after you've sewn it up. That's me all sewn up for now, but now we've got these gaping massive triangular corners across the fabric. So what we're going to do is we are going to open them and then press them down, and then they become flat. They become a flat surface, just like that. So then what we do is we pin along the end and sew it up. And then you repeat that for all four corners. I just trimmed the edges a bit, so I thought I'd show you it a bit neater before I sewn it up. So they go straight line, and then pin it up, and then sew along the pins, and do that with every corner. corners are all sewn up, now's the time for the fun bit. Quick tip, when you are sewing up your corners, make sure the zip in the middle is undone. It's important for this next part. So what you're going to do is that hole that you left in your bottom lining, you're going to pop your hand through all the way to the bottom, and then you're going to grab hold and you're going to pull that through the bottom of there, like so. And then you can poke in some of the edges, poke them out, make sure you've sewn it all up properly, there's no holes. And there we go. Mine looks a bit wonky, but I mean, it's bound to be. And what you've got now left to do is sew up this hole in your inner lining. You can either do that by hand with a really fancy stitch so it's invisible, but if you're like me, just go ahead on your sewing machine and sew up that gap. There we go. I didn't film that bit, but there we go. It's all nicely sewn up, nice and neat. I'll just trim that bit there. So then all the excess threads have disappeared, and it's been backstitched on the machine, which means that all the stitches are nice and sturdy in place, so they're not going to fall out. Then all you do is just pop that back in your bag, and there we go. One very nice looking little bag. You can either use this as some sort of pencil case, makeup bag, whatever you fancy. Let me just trim that bit. But yeah, all done. Quick and easy. Shouldn't take you more than an hour. But yeah, all done. Lots of space for all your things. And you can use a mix and match of every fabric. You can use some fleece if you want it padded. You don't have to. The interfacing makes it a bit sturdier. If not, you can have a bag of whatever you choose. Ta-da!